Hello everyone, welcome to SST College of Arts and Commerce. This is SST Edupedia and myself Assistant Professor Manju Juriani. Today we are going to continue with the subject HRM. The unit is 5 compensation, which we have already started in the last lectures. So the topic today is incentives, the topic which we have already started in the last lecture. We have studied the meaning of incentives, the determinants and types also. So today we will continue that. The class is TYBCBI and the semester is 6. So let's get started. First, today we will see the advantages of incentives. So what are the advantages of incentives? Why we provide incentives to employees? So first one is motivation. It provides motivation to our employees by providing different incentives such as monetary and non-monetary incentives. It provides motivation to employees. The employees are motivated to perform better. So the more the incentives will be, the better the performance will be of the employees. So the first purpose of providing incentives is provide motivation to employees. We provide different incentives like monetary incentives such as bonus, then extra incentives, benefits. So in order to motivate the employees, so higher the performance of the employees, higher incentives will be provided to them. So the purpose is to motivate employees to perform better in an organization. Then second is ownership. So by providing incentives, the employees feel the sense of ownership in the company. They feel sense of belongingness in the company. They feel that the employees are valued in the company, because that's why we are provided different incentives. The incentives like profit sharing incentives, which we have already studied. In profit sharing incentives, employees are provided a share in the profit of the company. So the employees feel that they are responsible for the growth of the company. They are a part of the company and they get the share in the profits of the company. So higher the profits of the company, higher incentives will be provided to employees. So likely they feel ownership in the company. Then next is innovation. So employees feel motivated to create innovative ways to complete their tasks and complete their duties. So incentives leads to more innovation in a company. Employees create innovative ways. They find different methods, different techniques to deal with their tasks. So they will be more interested in their tasks. They will find creative, innovative ways to complete their tasks. So incentives motivate employees to find innovative and creative ways to complete their tasks and duties and perform well. The next is fosters teamwork. So the incentives fosters teamwork in an organization. Teamwork refers to the coordination among employees. The employees will work as a team to achieve the objectives of the company, and they will support each other. They will coordinate with each other in a company to achieve the goals of the company. Like for example, there are different departments in a company like finance department, sales department, marketing department, HR department. So all these departments have to work with coordination and teamwork as to achieve the goals of the organization. So incentives motivate employees to perform better and perform as a team. Then next is sharing of rewards. So incentives leads to sharing of rewards. When a company earns more profit in a financial year, so the more incentives are provided to its employees. So it leads to sharing of rewards. Employees feel that if they will contribute more, if they will perform better, they will get better rewards. They will share rewards with the company, and their efforts is valued and they are valued in a company. So that's why they feel that they are provided with some rewards for their efforts. That's why incentives are provided to employees according to their performance. Then next is lesser supervision. So because of incentives, employees think that employees become responsible. They feel that they have to perform better in order to achieve the goals. So they will get the better incentives. So less supervision is required because employees feel the sense of responsible, and they feel that they are responsible for their own tasks. They are responsible for their own duties. So less supervision is required when the employees are self-motivated to do their work. So These are the advantages of incentives. First was motivation, then ownership, then innovation. It fosters teamwork, then sharing of rewards, and lesser supervision is required. So there are some advantages, so obviously there will be some disadvantages also. So moving forward, we will see now the disadvantages of incentives. First is deterioration of quality. So incentives sometimes can lead to deterioration in the quality of the work of employees. Why? Because in order to complete their tasks and their duties in fast and achieve more output, they can feel like the quality is not important. The employees achieve the quantity. They try to achieve as much as quantity as possible, but they sometimes ignore the quality, which leads to deterioration in the quality of our products. So it is a disadvantages of incentives. The employees will only focus on the quantity of the output, but they will not focus on the quality, so which will affect our quality of products, and it will affect the standards which are maintained in the company, and it also will affect the goodwill, the image of the company. So this is the limitation of incentive. Second is overwork. Sometimes incentives leads to overwork. Employees, in order to achieve more and more output, they overwork themselves. They sometimes work more. There will be pressure of completing their tasks, completing their targets, so as to achieve more incentives. So sometimes it can lead to overwork. So companies accordingly, they have to decide the incentives. They have to plan the incentives properly. The next is neglect of safety measures. As I said, sometimes employees get like in the, they want to achieve as much as output as possible in order to grab more incentives. So it can lead to, they can neglect safety measures sometimes. So the harm will be, there will be harm to the employees. It can affect their health. It can affect the safety of the employees. So in order to ignore that, incentives should be planned accordingly, and the employees should be cautious while working. So the incentives, they can neglect sometimes they can neglect the safety measures. Then next is resistance. So when management wants to change some standards in the company, some rates of incentives in the company, they can face the resistance from the employees. The employees, they do not agree to change sometimes very easily. So when the company wants to change any incentive plans, or because of change in technology or change in the market or change in the financial conditions of the company, so they can face resistance from the employees. So accordingly, the situation should be dealt, management should plan accordingly well in advance the plans. Then last is rivalry. So sometimes the incentives can lead to rivalry in the organization, because it can create jealousy among the employees. For example, A is getting more incentives in comparison to B, but they think both are performing same. They are both performing better, but one person is getting more incentives and other person is getting less incentives, which can be because of various factors. But employees can feel like they are discriminated, they are getting less incentives, jealousy can be there, rivalry can be there. So these are the limitations of the incentives. So what are the disadvantages of incentives? First is deterioration of quality, second is overwork, third is neglect of safety measures, fourth is resistance, and last is rivalry. Then moving forward, we are done with advantages and disadvantages of incentives. So last part is essentials of a sound incentive plan. So what are the things that makes an incentive plan a sound one? So these are the essential we have to keep in mind while framing incentive plans. First is employee participation. So while framing incentives plan, employee participation should be there. So employees should be taken into consideration, their suggestions, their opinions matter. So while framing incentive plans, HR managers should consult their employees and take their suggestions as to how to frame incentive plans and what are their suggestions. Accordingly, we have to frame the plans. The next is scientific standards. So incentives should be based on scientific standards, because we should follow scientific procedures while framing incentive plans. So because there should not be any discrimination among employees, accordingly the higher performance should be given high incentives. So incentives should be based on the performance of the employees. So certain standards should be there, certain scientific procedures, scientific standards should be laid down by the management while framing incentive plans. Then next is guaranteed minimum wages. So we are providing incentives to employees apart from their wages or salaries. So there should be certain wages which are given to employees apart from their incentives. So incentives should be based on the performance. Higher the performance, higher incentives should be provided to them, and minimum wages should be guaranteed to them. Then next is simplicity. So our incentive plan should be simple and it should be easy to understand. So our incentive plan should not be complicated. So employees should be able to understand the incentive plans and what are the standards fixed by the company. So it should be easy and simple to understand. Then next is prompt payment. So incentive should be promptly payment to employees. There should not be much gap on the time of the performance and time of the payment. As soon as the month completes or the year completes, the incentives should be provided accordingly when the incentives are decided. So it should be promptly paid as to motivate the employees. Then next is flexibility. So it is not easy to change incentive plans from time to time, but there should be some flexibility when the situation occurs or there are certain changes in the financial position of the company or in the market conditions. So there should be flexibility. The incentives plans can be changed accordingly sometimes. Then next is motivating. Our incentive plans, the purpose of providing incentive is to motivate the employees. So accordingly the incentive plan should be like that. So a very low amount of incentive should not be provided. Sufficient amount of incentive should be there as to positively motivate the employees. So the employees feel motivated and they feel positive towards their work, which leads to job satisfaction, and their performance will be increased and they will feel the sense of belongingness in the company. Then next is ceiling on earnings. So as to avoid certain disadvantages which we have seen earlier, like when the incentives can lead to jealousy or it can lead to overwork. So to avoid those, there should be certain ceiling on the earnings. So there should be limitation on the amount of incentives which will be provided to a particular employee. So a ceiling should be fixed on the earning of the employees. Then next is sound appraisal system. So appraisal system means on the basis of which the incentive are provided. The performance should be evaluated, performance appraisal should be conducted, that which employees are deserving of providing incentives. So the performance should be measured of each and every employee. Performance appraisal should be done, and on the basis of which every employee should be provided incentive based on their performance, and there should not be any discrimination on the providing incentives. The last one is addressal of employee grievances. So employee grievances refers to any problem faced by the company, any problem faced by the employees in the company, any problems, any queries of the employee should be solved by the HR manager. So any problems regarding the incentives, any problems, any queries about the incentive plans should be solved by the HR manager. So the grievances of employees should not be ignored and they should be addressed in the company by HR manager or by any competent authority. So these are the essentials of a good incentive plan. These essentials make our incentive plan a sound one. First is employee participation should be there. Next, scientific standards should be fixed. Third, guaranteed minimum wages should be there. Simplicity, then prompt payment, flexibility should be there, motivating, and ceiling on earnings. Sound appraisal system should be there, and last, addressal of employee grievances. So today we completed the incentive part in the unit 5, which we studied today advantages and disadvantages of incentives and essentials of a sound incentive plan. Thank you.